Hello, welcome to the mid-year book freakout tag, or whatever order those words are supposed to go in. We all know what this is. This is the part in the middle of the year where we just freak out about how little we're reading or anything like that, you know, like whatever your reading is like. I watched a bunch of these videos, and some of my favorite booktubers are going like, I read 150 books so far this year, let's talk about them. And I'm just thinking, how in the hell, like I know how people read that many books. I'm not one of those people that say that you cannot possibly read that much, but I just feel like shit, even though I know I cannot compare myself to other people, but like I shouldn't. But I read 49 books so far this year, and some of these people who have children, who have much busier lives than I do, and they have read so much more, and I just feel like I'm not fulfilling anything. That's a conversation for my therapist to listen to. Let's move on. Okay, so I've got a stat here. I think I'm gonna move it. Okay, so I have the list of questions here. By the way, nobody tagged me. I'm just doing this, so you know, because I want to. Best book you've read so far in this year. So I have two answers for that. I have Bunny by Mona Awad, and I have The Goblin Emperor by Catherine Addison. These were both, they are incredibly different books. This is like dark academia with magic and blood and gore and weirdness, and this is a high fantasy with a lot of political intrigue. But they were both incredibly awesome and amazing for me for different reasons. I have a very detailed vlog on reading this one where you can listen to why I loved it so much, even though like I know a lot of people hate it and think it's pretentious, and like you're valid, but this was perfect. This made me cry and just laugh, and it was perfect. It was amazing. Question number 2, best sequel you read so far in this year of our Lord 2023. I have read 0 sequels. None sequels is what I have read. I don't know. I don't read a lot of series. She said have been in like the middle of 10 series, but I didn't read any of the ones that I'm in right now this year so far yet. Anyway, I have not read any sequels. Moving on. Next question. New release you haven't read yet but want to. I really want to read This Gilded Abyss by Rebecca Thorne. It's about disaster pirate lesbians in an underwater city. Sounds awesome. There's also zombies, and I asked Rebecca on TikTok, like, are they gonna eat anyone? Because that's a thing that I cannot read about. And Rebecca was like, no, it's cool. They're just gonna like maim a few people. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's okay. I'm okay with maiming people. So I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna buy an ebook. I haven't yet, but I will soon. I really want to buy a physical copy, but like Ukraine war, you know, and so I cannot. Next, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So this book comes out in August, on August 29th, which is technically the second half of the year, right? I think so. It's also my birthday month, so I'm considering this a birthday gift to myself, and that is I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me by Jameson Shea. I should ask them how to pronounce the name correctly. I'm sorry. I've been watching Jameson write this book on Instagram for a couple of years now, and like I'm obsessed. It's about a ballerina in a ballet school in Paris making a blood pact with an old god to destroy her enemies. And like, hi, this is me editing here. I just want to add that I went to Goodreads to read the synopsis to make sure that I actually got it right, because I only know what the book is about from looking at Jameson's account. And I also want to add that Laure, the main character, is black, and it's about how the world of ballet in Paris is not accepting of a black ballerina and her battling that. And also, this is an excerpt from Goodreads. A slow burn horror that lifts a veil on the institutions that profit on exclusion, and the toll of giving everything to a world that will never love you back. And I think that's awesome and beautiful, and yeah. Is that just not like the coolest thing ever? That just sounds so awesome and fucked up. I want to read it right now. Like, I'm gonna start reading it on the way from the post office when I get it. I'm also gonna have a signed copy, because I asked Jameson if I could order the book to like their address in Finland so they could sign it for me and ship it back here. Like, I'm gonna pay for the postage and everything. Also, like, look at this cover. Like, I'm obsessed. I'm just so happy to see people around me who I see writing and pursuing it actually get published and get there. And it makes me think, like, first of all, like, yes, queen, and then it also makes me think maybe I can do that one day, you know, when I grow up. Okay, Next question. Biggest disappointment. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Listen, you know the answer to that question. If you've been here a little bit and you watched my channel. The Maidens by Alex Nicolaides. Fuck this book. I don't even want to think about it. I have a 30-minute rant review of this book where I detail on why it's awful. And not only why it's awful, but like I also talk, oh, she got scared. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. Mama's sorry. I'm sorry. I detail in that video not only why I think it's bad, but also on a few things that I think were, like, I talk basically a lot about the history that he could have used in that book, and he tried but he didn't. So, like, please watch that video. I worked really hard on it and I think it's interesting. And the second biggest disappointment is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, which I also have a signed copy of. I already told everybody this, and like I made videos about being disappointed in this book. And honestly, I was disappointed because I really respect Matt Haig. And I really liked two of his books that I read before this. But honestly, the more I think about it, the more I think that How to Stop Time was just like this, but like in a different wrapper. This was so preachy and condescending and sanctimonious. I just did not like it at all. It was so sickly sweet. I wanted to vomit. I bought this, however, for my mom for 8th of March, and she's enjoying it. So that says something, I guess. I don't know. Moving on. Biggest surprise. I think the biggest surprise for me was Hellblazer Rise and Fall. This is a graphic novel about Constantine, and like one of many. And first of all, like, all the plots about Constantine are the same. He did something when he was a child, he fucked up, and the demon that he released is now back for his blood like 30 years later. That's all the plot lines of all of his stories. And not that I mind, like some of them, I really love Constantine. Like, this is not me saying I hate Constantine, I love Constantine. But my problem with this was, I think, the art style, because I read this and I was like, this is DC? This is the famed DC? This is really? That's the Black Label? Am I supposed to be like this beautiful cover that makes me want to cry from how pretty it is? Has absolutely no connection to the actual illustrations inside. Oh, I actually opened on a good one. I opened on a kind of good illustration where he's drinking with Lucifer. But the overall style of these illustrations, I'm not impressed. I am unimpressed. Moving on. Favorite new author, debut or new to you? You know what? I'm gonna say, I think Mona Awad, even though I read another book by her last year, I read 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. But I don't know if I can call an author a favorite before I read their other books, even though I did that before. But with Mona Awad, her other books, all of her books, are really controversial. And I was like, if I don't like Bunny, I'm gonna be really upset. But then I loved Bunny so much, I cannot stop thinking about it every single day of my life. So this just concreted her as a favorite writer in my mind. I'm so pumped for Rouge. I'm gonna cry because I cannot have a physical copy. I'm gonna have to buy an ebook, and I'm gonna cry because I don't want an ebook. I want a physical copy because I clearly don't have enough of them, right? Okay, newest fictional crush. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maya, or Ava. Again, these two books, they are so good. Just, honestly, I don't know. I don't get fictional crushes from books. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't read romance, and like you're supposed to pine for characters in romance, I guess, or like in romantasy. But I didn't read anything like that. So I think, yeah, Maya and Ava from these two books, respectively. Newest favorite character. Listen, I'm such a boring person. Maya and Ava from these two books. I'm so boring. Why did I already answer 3 or 4 questions? 4 questions with these two books. Somebody send help. Book that made you cry. Vespertine made me cry. I could have said The Goblet Emperor, but I'm not gonna do that because you already know that it made me cry. But also Vespertine made me cry in 2 places, and I didn't expect that because this is fantasy. This is about a young girl who is training to be a Grey Sister. They're like people, they are nuns in this world that tend to dead bodies so that they don't rise up as spirits and don't try to haunt the living. And the main character is clearly neurodivergent. There's a cool cast of characters, but I wanted it to be like 100 pages longer because I wanted more of those characters to know them better. And there was a couple of really heartfelt moments when I felt like trauma was being addressed and I felt seen. And not only because of that, like, I think even if I didn't have that element, oh, I'm having my own emotions reciprocated in a work of fiction, I still would have been incredibly emotional in those moments. So yeah, this made me cry. This was lovely. I gave this 4 stars. This is going to be in a vlog soon, actually. That was kind of a spoiler for that vlog that is 4 stars, but who cares? Book that made you happy. Where is it? Where is it? Wait, what book did I have for that? Book that made me happy? I don't know. Oh, okay. I looked at my Goodreads and remembered what I read. A book that made me happy was Going Postal by Terry Pratchett. Terry Pratchett is such a great writer because I just miss him so much in this world. Because his books are brilliant, but they can also be kind of a palate cleanser when you've read like a bunch of crappy books or a lot of really heavy books and you just need something that you know is going to be delightful and also very good. You can always confidently pick up a Terry Pratchett. So Going Postal was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was really funny and it was just, I don't know, delightful commentary. And then we watched was it BBC that did the TV show? I think so. We watched the TV show. I was not a fan of the TV show, but it was quite good. So that did make me happy. The most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received? I actually have 3 answers for that. I have If Cats Disappeared from the World by, I forget, Genki Kawamura. Look at this. It's just such a sweet little design. It's a beautiful design. There's only the little black cat done in ink and it's lovely. It's just a joy to hold in my hands. The second one is my Robinson Crusoe copy, which I found for $2 at the end of a dusty box at the end of a book market. You can watch about that on my TikTok if you want. I also I posted here a short about this book specifically. This is more than 100 years old. There's no date inside this book, but I have done a little investigating online and I have 2 dates that it could possibly have been published in. I already forgot them, but it's like one of them is 1873 and the other one is 1898, I think, something like that. So like it's at least 100 years old, 120 years old at least, and it's beautiful and it was clearly even more gorgeous one day. It's cloth bound, it's very tattered. Come on, focus. I keep looking out. I keep looking out from under the book because I need to see if it focused on the book, but then it focuses on my face and I'm like, I ruined it. Okay, anyway, this is beautiful. And the third choice is 3 Women by Lisa Taddeo, and it's beautiful, but it also makes me sick in a little, like, I don't know how to explain it. I think it's a really good design because this modern cover, modern spine with this color that is like a very it's a very sickly yellow, like lime ice cream, I guess. And the yellow and white contrasting with the Dutch, it makes me a little sick because looking at these fruit, I'm not sure that it's fruit. I'm like, is this blood? Is this flesh? Like, I know it's not, but the way it's made, it's clearly made to unsettle you, I think. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but it seems so. So yeah, I really like this cover. And next, moving on. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? I hate this question because the answer is clearly all of them. Like, I have so many books on my TBR. All the books in this room right now are on my TBR. Like, I have another shelf outside of this room where all the books that I have read are living. But this is all that I need to read, and that, and over there, and just like, there's just so many. I don't know, I really kind of wish I could finish the Witcher series by the end of the year, because I have 3 books left. I haven't finished it, and I want to read The Name of the Wind. It's over there somewhere. I'm not getting up to get it. I'm sorry. I want to read The Name of the Wind. And I mean, I have so many other books that I think, oh, I want to read this right away. But I mean, there are hundreds of books. There are hundreds of books on my TBR. I cannot possibly say there's one that I absolutely must read by the end of this year. So that question always pissed me off. Favorite book to movie adaptation you've seen this year? Honestly, couldn't care less. I don't watch book to movie adaptations. Every once in a while I do, for some morbid curiosity reason. Like, I finished The Essex Serpent and I immediately looked up who were the actors cast in it, and I looked at the screenshots, but I don't know why I do that. For me, it's like looking at a car crash and not being able to look away. That's kind of what it feels like to me, because I don't like movie adaptations. I don't like almost any of them. Like, there are a few that I desperately love and that I feel are better than the book, Stardust Looking at You, but that's so rare that I'm not really interested in them, unless I didn't really like the book and I'm like, might as well watch the movie. So, you know, that's it, I think, for the I already forgot what it's called, Mid-Year Freakout Book Tag. I'm going to tag a few people. I'm going to tag Adriana from Adriana's Wonderland, and I don't know, I'm going to tag a few people, but I'm not able to summon their names right now in my brain. I'm just going to go and look and type. And if you've been tagged, please do the tag, because I want you to do the tag. Also, if you're watching this video and nobody's tagged you, but you've got a channel and you want to do this, like, consider this me tagging you. Like, if you want, leave me a comment and I'll tag you, so it could be official. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. The explosions have been exploding lately in the night. Alice is afraid. She does not like it at all. She started to be afraid a few weeks ago, and I comfort her as best I can. I wanted to say just now a phrase that will probably get me banned on YouTube about the war, you know, in Ukraine. So I'm not going to say it, but you probably know what I'm thinking anyway. So thanks so much for watching. Slava Ukraini, and I'll see you again soon.